Welcome to TPM Vid's Disney Beat, where we talk about all things Disney. If you're new to the channel,
10.
hit that subscribe button and click the bell
We
icon
reacted to
to
part
be
11,
notified
so...
when we upload a new video. We also have Instagram and Twitter. You can find us at TPM Videos. Well, it's that time again where we explore the wonderful world of animatronics. Many Disney rides and attractions feature audio animatronics, and with these robotic figures being so complex, they're bound to fail, malfunction, and break down. It just happens. Thanks to submissions from all of you,
the
today
rise
we
of
have
resistance.
some really fun malfunctions to share. Now, if you've ever caught
you saw it, so...
malfunction on camera, send it to the email address on the screen.
Teddy
for a chance to
Roosevelt.
have
That's
it
the main
featured in a
reason.
future video. Now, without further ado, let's count down the top 10 Disney fails and animatronic malfunctions, part 10.
Right. He's not seen this clearly,
Number
but
10. Taking a ride on the world-famous Jungle Cruise at Magic Kingdom brings a lot of excitement, from puns to animatronics. Many simple figures
I know this
make
one.
up this cast of wild animals.
This is not. This has nothing to do with the boat.
Animatronics. Trader Sam is one of them, and he's the head salesman of the jungle. He's very cordial, almost like he's bowing to get you to buy into his 3 heads for the price of 1 deal. He's a man of class, but sometimes he just can't help but fight those demons inside. With that broken umbrella, which is normally part of the show, he looks even more busted, almost like an animatronic at Universal
His hair
Studios.
stuck to the
He normally doesn't have
pole
any
of the
side-to-side movement,
umbrella.
so it's kind of strange seeing this jerky movement in all directions. I mean, someone just needs to buy him a head to make him stop. Please. Number 9. If you've watched this channel before, you'll probably remember some animatronic malfunctions with Mr. Potato Head.
Yep.
And guess what? The Spud is back. Most of his malfunctions happen while he's trying to put his ear back into the socket and then drops it. But we've never seen him malfunction as he's trying to take out his ear. That's what happens here in Toy Story Land at Disney's Hollywood Studios. Check it out.
Hey, nice to see you back there. Want to trade? I'm just kidding. I'll keep it silly things.
I love that such a loud thud is made, even though he releases the ear ever so gently. When this happens, and it happens quite frequently, a cast member needs to manually put the ear back into the socket. And this is always done in plain view of the guests.
There's another video of that.
And the crowd goes wild!
There's another video of that. I think it was in 2012 or something. This was before Toy Story Land.
The next animatronic malfunction brings us into the Little Mermaid ride at Disney California Adventure. Now your journey begins and ends with Scuttle. Scuttle can naturally be a bit frantic, so sometimes he gets fed up telling the same story over and over and over again. And you know, he just needs to sit back and relax. But that hurts. Oh, she's so mean. I'll make you human if you give me a voice, she says. With him naturally being slouched, he just looks so sad yet so smug, doesn't he? I want to say that his eye blinking is run through a separate electrical signal from the hydraulic system that controls the other actuators in the animatronic. That would explain why the figure stops moving completely and we get this. Number 7. It's a Small World is a classic Disneyland attraction with a lot of history. I feel like with this ride, though, there are 2 distinct groups of people. One group that loves the ride and cherishes this beloved song and story, and another one that can't stand it, thinking it's annoying and creepy. Well, for a ride that a lot of people consider creepy when everything is in perfect working order, it gets a little creepier when things start to malfunction. In these clips sent to us by Savannah and Mr. 3, it just wasn't a good day for a lot of the animatronics. There's something especially unsettling when some of the figures are moving while others aren't. Don't you think? I don't know, it gives a whole different meaning to the world of fears. Or if you love the ride, then it's just another cool animatronic malfunction. Number 6.
There's more to Small World than
The
this.
Three Caballeros and the Grand Fiesta Tour at Epcot have been the subject of many malfunctions in the past. And guess what? They're at it again. Well, more so Jose is at it again. He's fallen and he can't get up.
I've fallen and I can't get up.
Too much tequila.
That's where the line came from that commercial. I've fallen, I can't get up.
What's a bit strange about this malfunction is that aside from him healed over, he's
Thank you,
functioning
Nostalgia
perfectly
Critic.
normal, which makes this even more amusing.
He's eating bird food.
I'm guessing the actuator in his hip failed, which is why he's in the position he's in. You know, I'm starting to think that
And his
he's
foot's
really
still
becoming a
tapping.
burden to the group. Get your act together, Jose, or just fly the coop already, all right?
I'm saying, too much tequila.
That's so nice.
Number 5. Both It's a Small World at
Yep.
Disneyland and Sinbad's Storybook Voyage in Tokyo Disney Sea feature miniature animatronic figures. Coincidentally, malfunctioning
You know anything about
heads
that ride,
were caught
Sinbad?
on camera on
It's a Tokyo
both
Disneyland.
rides. So first up is Alice on It's a Small World, who's dealing with
kinda
that
cool.
crick in her neck.
That's not supposed to happen. Her head moving. That
Now, when you look at the figure's normal animation on the ride, her head doesn't move at all. So it's interesting once again that with a malfunction, we see a head function that's built into the animatronic
What's wrong with her
that
head
never
not moving?
actually
That's
gets
the
used.
thing.
That's kind of
On
creepy.
Sinbad's Storybook Voyage, the animatronic animation in this ride is beautiful. They all have full range of motion, and I could honestly
Yeah.
watch these animatronics for hours on end. Now, I'm honestly not too sure who this guy is, but he's our subject of interest, who's either trying to tell us something like secret, or he just has a really bad itch. I don't know.
that'd be a bad edge.
Imagine an entire ride with animatronic heads like this. I mean, I would gladly go on this, wouldn't you?
Probably.
Number 4. Over
No
at Disney's
ads
Hollywood
displayed, that's-
Studios, you can find a very impressive Lightning McQueen audio animatronic in Lightning McQueen's Racing Academy. Without the animatronic, there is no show. So, when
Yeah.
the figure malfunctions, cast members are usually quick to shut it down. In this show captured by Dizzar Dream, there were issues as soon as Lightning McQueen came on stage. Pay attention to his front wheels and you'll see they're not spinning. Other than that though, he was moving perfectly fine until this point right here. Then it was all downhill.
You know, I only figured out how to be a great racer because I had a great teacher, Doc Hudson. That's why I started this racing academy, so I could pay that forward to all of you.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, Lightning McQueen's Racing Academy is experiencing technical difficulties.
I love how they coincidentally stopped the show right as he was blinking, giving us this. A less than flattering look for McQueen. It's almost like when you take photos of the articulated heads on the castle stage. The
Yeah.
one cool thing with this is that when the show lights turn off, you can clearly see the constraints of the mouth projection on the animatronic.
Yep. Clearly.
Number 3. When Rise of the Resistance first opened at Disney's Hollywood Studios back in December of 2019, it was constantly going down. That's usually somewhat typical of new rides, and it included the Kylo Ren animatronic malfunctioning. Just for reference, this is what the scene is supposed to look like.
Shields. I see no evidence.
Over the course of the first few weeks, there were many times when riders got to the bridge of the Star Destroyer only to be faced with a lifeless Kylo Ren in a variety of positions. Then in this clip tip from Parallel Disney. Both Hux and Kylo Ren are doing the mannequin challenge that hasn't been relevant for about 4 years.
Not even moving.
Now, there's also been times where the second Kylo Ren animatronic would also malfunction, but Disney actually built a plan B into the scene. So
Yeah.
normally, this is what happens.
There's no mistake. Tell me the location of the secret base, and then I will respond you and the resistance.
And this is plan B with different dialogue as well.
Efforts unwasted. You cannot escape me. Your precious resistance is about to be destroyed.
So seeing him like in person, like you see him
Right being
outside
trackless is that they can
this TIE
easily
fighter.
shift your attention to different areas of the scene. So, when the computer detects a problem with the Kylo Ren animatronic, it can switch into B mode seamlessly. The fact that Disney has been creating more and more B mode show scenes is great, since it limits
it is.
downtimes and still allows you to have a complete but modified ride experience. Number 2.
This is
The Hall of
yes.
Presidents at Magic Kingdom
Teddy
gives you the
Roosevelt.
chance to see the most animatronics all at once. Some of the figures'
Lincoln's not the only
movements are
one.
more subtle than others, but during this performance, it's hard to keep your eyes off of Theodore Roosevelt, who's getting a little jittery.
He starts it. His hand pops off. Look at that.
You can see at the start of the video, his arm was slightly shaking. Then he just got possessed and knocked something off the table and went
That's
crazy.
his arm. Look at you can see there's you don't see his arm to his
I can keep watching
his
this
hand,
one
I mean.
over and over
His
and
hand
over
pops
again.
off.
It never gets old. It's like his morning coffee really started to kick in right there. Now, it's said that when animatronics begin to shake like this, it's caused by a glitch in the computer software that keeps looping the same 2 frames. It's an attempt to create fluid motion, but then it rapidly repeats, and we get this.
yeah. Which
Number
caused his hand to
1.
pop off.
This final segment is called Lend Them a Hand, and it features the cast of the Carousel of Progress.
Yeah, I think I know.
So, back on
Yeah,
January
this one.
20th of 2020, the younger daughter that shows up in Act 1 and mysteriously disappears for the rest of the show has her arm disconnected from her hand while it's still stuck to the handle.
That's right, folks. Now Sarah has time for other.
Look, you see that? Do you see the hand on there?
Oh, God!
And her arm is
I mean,
Oh,
quite
God!
But that's not all. Later on February 5th, John in the first act was caught
Let's
with
see
his
that be
hand
the
detached
thumbnail.
from his arm, and it laid on
I
the
might
floor
make
with
that
his
the
pipe
thumbnail.
Still in hand. There is no
There it
video
is.
footage
Oh!
function, but this picture was posted on Reddit by user
Now we're
Pulse.
talking.
I mean, I gotta hand it to Disney. They dealt with both of these malfunctions quickly and fixed the issues. But these animatronics do need some love and care. If you look at old footage from the attraction, the animatronics move with much more fluidity and ease than what's seen now. Hopefully one day in the future, Carousel of Progress will get the refurbishment it deserves.
Still, just
Oh, my
So,
God.
have you ever seen a malfunction or breakdown in person?
Not like that, I haven't.
Which malfunction on the list today was your
Kind of.
favorite? I'd love to know. Leave a
The
comment
one
down
pirate
below to
in
start a
Pirates of the Caribbean playing the
conversation. And
flute.
don't forget to hit that like button
his
if
head
you
was popped off.
enjoyed the
I
video.
clearly remember that. And that's it. Well, what'd you think of that?
I think Disney needs to add. They need, you know how they have. They said they have a plan B.
Yeah, okay.
When something malfunctions.
Yes. Jump cut and we'll continue what you say. Hey guys, so we just reacted to the part 10 of the top 10 malfunctions, of animatronics, the TPM vid video. So what were you saying?
I was saying that Disney. They were saying that Disney has a plan B set up, especially
Yes.
for
As it was established in the one with Rise of Resistance.
Rise Resistance, and so they have. If something malfunctions, the computer catches it,
Right.
and it switches to something else.
Right.
Well, okay. In this, when they lose a limb, why can't they have a plan B to switch off that makes blood squirt out of the socket? Make it look more realistic. If they lose a hand, blood squirts out. I mean,
I don't
if their
think-
head pops off,
no.
blood squirts out.
No, they wouldn't do that.
Why not? I mean, it's
This is Disney we're talking about.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
But-
it was an idea anyway.
Yeah. But your reaction to number 1 of Carousel Progress, that was a reaction. That was your real reaction?
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty real.
Just, yeah, and you're just like, oh my God! Just, you know, and your face, you know. Let's see
I don't
that.
have
Let's
it in
see
my
that.
face.
Let's see that be the thumbnail.
Yeah. Let's see that be
Your
the
big
thumbnail.
bug eyes. It's true. It's true. Probably gonna look back at our the footage of us reacting to that and go to your reaction. You're gonna crack up at that. So crack up at yourself. That is.
Still the funniest one to me is when Lincoln bends over backwards.
I know.
That is still.
Yes.
I can crack up.
Of course, we have to mention that again.
Crack up laughing every single time I see that. I crack up because it's hilarious.
And the first time I ever showed that to you, you just cracked up
Well,
like almost laid an egg.
It's literally, he looks real anyway.
Yeah.
So to see him do it, it is literally impossible for a human being to do that, to literally bend over backwards.
Right.
I mean, you just can't do it, but he does it.
Yeah, that's right. So, but the one with Teddy Roosevelt, what about that one?
That Teddy Roosevelt
Also known as Theodore Roosevelt.
having a, I guess for lack of a better way of putting it, a hydraulic seizure.
Yeah.
That's just, oh my God. To be there and to actually see that, you would just be...
I know! We'd be cracking up, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. You saw my mistake, because it's not his arm, his hand popped off.
Exactly.
Yeah. You don't see anything on his arm, all you see up to his sleeve is nothing.
Yep.
So his hand pops off. That was crazy. What?
I'm just laughing and thinking about it. It's hilarious.
Yeah, but the other animatronic malfunctions, like the ones from It's a Small World.
Yeah, those were all funny. I mean, you go through there, it's hard to catch anything really at any given time. There's so many animatronic figures in Small World that when you're looking around, unless there's just a glaring glitch that you catch, there's just no way really to know.
Right.
And I've seen them. You know, I've seen glitches in the animatronics. I can't think of them off the top of my head, but I've seen them in the Haunted Mansion. I've seen them in Small World.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen one in Hall of Presidents though.
Right.
But
what about, like, what did you see in the Haunted Mansion?
I can't remember. One of the figures was doing a herky-jerky movement, something. You could tell it was off. You could tell something was not right. So.
Exactly, yeah. Another thing is like, say, on the Three Caballeros, Jose, he was bent down.
Oh, that was hilarious. That
was.
was absolutely hilarious.
And still, he was, like, moving and such, you know.
I didn't know if he'd had too much tequila or if he was eating birdseed. I couldn't tell.
Yeah, and Trader Sam from the Jungle Cruise.
Trader Sam, that was funny.
Now, see, because I said this, and when we reacted to Part 11, that I would love to see some malfunction or whatever on the Jungle Cruise, and I completely forgot about this one.
Yeah, it's and it happens. I'm sure it's happened on every Disney ride. You know that there's been some kind of a malfunction like that. So
yeah, and
you know that kind of equipment. It's okay if it malfunctions.
It would be funny also, because jumping to more talk on Jungle Cruise, if it happened again with, say, one of the animals or something, you know. Imagine what that looked like. But
exactly.
You were saying?
No, I was saying I was just agreeing with you. You know, at least that kind of equipment can malfunction. You don't want a malfunction in the equipment that you're on if you're on like Rock and Roller Coaster or the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror. You know?
Yeah.
You don't want that equipment to malfunction.
The only like with Tower of Terror, like, because when it's when it breaks down or ever, like, you know, it's not at the drop. Okay, you're not stuck at the drop.
Yeah, not likely.
No,
because if it malfunctions there, if it drops, you drop. You know.
Yeah. And with Rock and Roller Coaster, nothing that I know of, but I don't know if this counts. Like, say, you ride. There's a video of, like, say, of somebody on Rock and Roller Coasters, and the lights are on.
Yep.
See behind the scenes stuff or whatever. Like, you see the track and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Which is kind of cool, you know. Like, there's even a video of Space Mountain with the lights on at Disney World.
Yeah.
Which that's cool too. Because we were talking about this. I can't remember if we were talking about this in one of our reactions, or we were just talking about when I think we were talking about it when we weren't doing a video, because Space Mountain, because you were saying this too, like, you never know what's going to happen. You don't see anything in Space Mountain, you know.
No,
it's almost pitch black with a few lights.
I like to see when I'm going to fall. I like to be able to brace my stomach.
I am with you too, 100%.
You can't do it, and you definitely can't do it on Twilight Zone Tower of Terror. Now I've been told, I have it on good authority that there is.
Well, if you ride it more, you'll know its pattern. Like you'll know exactly what's going to happen. You'll follow its pattern or whatever.
And I've been on Twilight Zone Tower of Terror exactly once, and the clock is ticking because I will be getting on it again. So
yeah. Again, it's pattern. You need to follow the tower. If you ride it more, you'll follow it. You'll know its pattern. So that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But excuse me. I mean, what else? I even mentioned this many times. I've said this before, and I'll say it again because similar to Carousel Progress, because we did see something like that again in Pirates of the Caribbean. The one playing the flute at the scene where the mayor is getting dunked in the well, and his head was popped off like this.
Exactly.
So just like that, we were there and we saw it. I clearly remember that.
Yep.
But what's even another thing that's funny is we've talked about this stuff before when we reacted to Part 11, but we'll say it again anyways. Talking about it again, like the Munchkin Malfunction. Great movie, right? That one's funny.
Oh my god, yeah, that one's hilarious.
And a bit similar to the Munchkin, one of the pirates in the jail cell, kind of shaken too.
Yeah. This was a good collection, though. I like this one.
Yeah.
Every single one of them, they were really good.
Yep.
Lightning McQueen's Malfunction.
Yeah, almost forgot about that.
Yeah, and Mr. Potato Head.
Yeah, there's been many malfunctions of Mr. Potato Head.
Now that one I've seen before. I've seen it when you would come in and his lips aren't moving and he's talking, and he's not even moving. I saw
that. You said
I saw that once. Yeah. I was there by myself and saw it. And
if only you got on video or something.
Yeah, I don't think I did. I might have, but he's just.
I don't remember.
He's just. You weren't there. It was a business trip. We had time off, and I went to.
This was years back. So.
I went to Hollywood Studios, and he was not. He was not moving. He was talking, but he was not moving. He was literally like this and talking. It was really strange.
But sometimes, even other times of Mr. Potato Head's malfunctions, his eyes, for one thing. Mostly, it's these ones, it's mostly happening at California Adventure.
Yeah.
Sometimes his eyes would just, his pupils would roll up,
Well,
entirely. And even one time, his eyes were showing words, because his eyes are screen.
Isn't the creepiest I've ever seen was Mickey. And it wasn't animatronics. It was
the one that meet and greet.
It was the meet and greet, and his eyes were missing. Oh, or at least one of his eyes were. Oh, it was
on
creepy.
Disney Cruise. Yeah, he's waving and such, and literally pops off. Look, it's just he quickly covered his eye.
Another one that was freaky was The Incredibles, and it was a meet and greet.
Yes.
And Elastigirl's face falls off.
It was kind of a stage thing, like at Tomorrowland.
Yeah, but her face fell off. Elastigirl, it was like, I would have been traumatized as an adult sitting there going, oh my God, her face falls off. And she was the cast member in the costume was very quick to,
and how he responded, ladies and gentlemen, yeah. But do you also remember this? Woody lost his eye. It was in a parade. He rubbed his eyes, and his eye was missing.
Yeah, those are pretty funny.
We should probably react to one of those too.
Yeah. Little girl screams, "Ah, mommy!" And screams and hides her eyes.
Yeah,
that's what you always think of. Most kids nowadays, they're so desensitized to horror from all the video games. They're just like, and just laughing and.
Yeah. I say we should probably watch one of those too from TPM vids, character fails or whatever,
I remember in 1972, Disney World had been open for about a year. And I went, and Mom and Dad took me, and I was 7 years old. And I remember the Seven Dwarfs came out, and Snow White, and they were dancing in the street. And I walked up to one of the Seven Dwarfs.
The Seven Dwarfs looked a lot different than how they look now.
And
the meet and greet thing.
Not really.
Well, they did kind of. But especially say for Winnie the Pooh, he had a honey pot on top of his head.
Well, this one didn't have. The Seven Dwarfs. They were just in a costume, but they didn't have use of their arms, because I grabbed one of their arms and was just kind of slinging it, and it was just like, there wasn't anything there. And the hand was kind of like rubbery.
Shaking his hand, like he was trying to shake his hand.
Yeah, I got in trouble for that too. I remember Dad giving me a dirty look, and like, don't do that, and I immediately let go. But I was caught up in the moment as a child.
So what?
So, when there's outdoors, I'm holding his hand, and it's like, there's nothing there. It was like, just like,
Yeah.
So I'm imagining the cast members inside the suit like this, just dancing around and their arms flopping around, because that's what they were doing basically. So.
So.
Just a childhood memory.
Yeah. So a very interesting one for you.
Yeah, it was interesting. All right.
Yeah. So.
It was more. It wasn't traumatizing from the standpoint of the character. It was traumatizing from the standpoint of Dad giving me the look, like, let go now. So.
But anyway, so what we just watched, the top 10 animatronic malfunctions, it was good, huh?
It was good.
Good list of what was there. Now, we'll react to another one of those probably, if I can, because I meant for us to, and I realized because this is part 10, so fair enough. Because I explained this when we did part 11 that there was a couple of from Spaceship Earth, and one of King Triton. So probably I think it's in part 9, but I'll check and see, and we'll definitely react to that. I also, as I said, we should probably also react to, from TPM Vids, like the list of like top 10 Disney character fails or whatever, when they fall or they lose something.
Exactly what we just talked about.
Yeah.
So we'll do that sometime.
Yeah, definitely. So
anyway, this was good.
Yeah, this one was good too. So anyway, so if that said, any last words?
I must be off.
Yeah, Lubla says I must be off. We enjoyed it, right? Still,
we did.
So, yep.
Very good.
All right, so it was good and such. You leave some comments, and Lublu says I must be off for me. We hope you enjoyed our reaction, and we'll see you guys in the next video / reaction. More reactions underway. Keep looking forward. Yep. Peace.